this is what I would have done different as a Turo Power host out here in Las Vegas. Over 20 plus vehicles. We've probably had over 30 plus vehicles, sold a lot of them this past year. I want to share with you guys what I would have done different and how I'd maneuver in this current market. So I'm just going to make this brief because I think this is an interesting topic. Like, if I started my Turo biz all over again, what would I have done different? Well, let me tell y'all. I'll just give you guys a little backstory real quick. I kind of jumped in, partner encouraged me, saw him do it, and I said, yeah, it sounds like a fun biz, sounds cool. And obviously, I had to pray about it, because I got a relationship with God, and everything sounded great. And that's the thing. A lot of people think that when you're serving God and you're praying about these things, it's always going to be perfect and whatnot. And it's not. But it's me just trusting what God's going to do. Now, let me just make this quick disclaimer before anyone thinks anything. Would I start over again and do it this way? Probably not. No. I actually enjoy the process and I like everything that has gone. Has it been easy? Of course not. Has there been a lot of different interesting issues we've ran into? Of course. It's part of scaling, but especially at the fleet that we're in. And I've heard this, like, the more cars you have, the more money you're going to make, which I honestly think that is true. But then the question is, are you going to make more profit? Okay. And this is the difference between wisdom and, again, wisdom is learning something and actually applying it. Okay. Wisdom is applying the knowledge that you get. Knowledge is just hearing it but not applying it, right? You're just getting the wisdom, you're just getting the knowledge. But I'm just thinking about this and I'm like, if I were to start over, what would I have done differently to possibly made it a lot easier? Because I understand there's stressful types of businesses, and to me, the Turo biz it's been one of those that I've been humbled. Let's say that I've been humbled a lot, just because it's not the internet. It's not online. It's a lot of physical. There's a lot of factors to it. And I'll tell y'all, I'm personally not into cars. Okay. Some of you guys are probably into cars and that's why you want to hop in. You know about cars. You're interested in cars. Me, I could care less. Okay. Like, I went back to selling my RC Lexus, my 2018 RC Lexus, and I decided to just go back to my '09 Lexus. And I like it. I actually enjoy it. I have a 2014 Lexus as well. They're IS 250s both. But I'm really actually like just enjoying, because I'm not a car dude like that. Like, yeah, it's nice to have a nicer car, but I don't desire for those quick cars or the most expensive cars. I really don't. So I just want to give you guys backstory before I tell you guys what I would have done to start over. Do I regret anything is the question, and this is the disclaimer. Do I regret what I started? Of course not. I actually do not regret it. Why? Because I wouldn't be where I'm at. I wouldn't be who I am. I wouldn't have the knowledge, the information. Would have met a lot of different great people. There's a lot of great guests, connections. There's so much that came out of this. So I would not start it. I don't regret it. But let's say if I were to start over, what can I learn and what can I impart some wisdom on y'all? Let's talk about it. First part, financing. Okay. Financing vehicles. I would have slowed down on financing too many vehicles too fast. I would have done that. Okay, why? Just because maybe some of the finances, the more you get, the higher the APR, right? The higher the interest that you're going to get on the vehicles. And to be healthy, like, let's say it's like an economy vehicle, you want anywhere, I want to say 250 to 300. Now, some people are like, well, depending on that, based on the car market, seems almost impossible. Well, I have some vehicles where we're spending at 300 and it's an economy car and it's making 5, 6, 700. Well, that's the 300 plus the insurance. Okay, so you're looking at about $400, $450 to maintain it, plus every few months, tire rotations, oil changes, maintenance, fluids, things that you need to clean, right, the vehicle. So there's extra expenses that you're going to have to tack on. So you got to really look into those extra things, not just to break even, but I need to make at least a little profit so that if a rainy day comes one month, when I say rainy day, I think about, if the worst case scenario happened, do I have money to continue to fuel? Of course. So I would have taken the finance route a little bit slower, probably not scaled as fast as far as the finance vehicle side. That's one thing I would have done different. I would have taken it slower. Again, do I regret it? No, I don't, because I learned a lot faster, and I've learned so much, not just about myself, but business, leading, growing. I've learned a lot about cars in general, okay? So it's been a blessing. That's the first thing I would have changed, okay? The second part, as I think about it, when I'm out there kind of like learning this biz and I'm out there doing this, I think about what I would have done different when it comes to running and starting the Turo biz, the second thing I would have done different is I would have done my due diligence to do a lot more research. And this is probably you could say it was a little ignorant, and I'll be honest, okay? Like just saying, yeah, I really feel like this is it. I trust my partner. I think we're going to go all out. Long story short, I wish I actually did it. Why? Again, at that moment, I wasn't interested in cars. I was just interested in like, wow, it sounds fun. It sounds like a cool endeavor. I'll learn as I go. Why? That's how I've always been, is like a learn as I go. Experience, when I was selling marketing services a couple years ago, I didn't know how to make funnels. Okay. This was like five plus years ago. I didn't know how to make funnels. I sold the funnel build out and then I figured it out. That's kind of how I always done it. Okay. A lot of the times when I'm doing these things, especially at the mindset, because you build a mindset, you read a lot of books, self-development, growth, you go to conferences. A lot of the mindset is pretty similar to how you overcome problems. Look at how you can solve these problems, strategize, okay? A lot of it's the same. So at this point in my life, I'm just like, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm getting older. Let's just run it. Say yes. Tell the world, and then figure it out. It's kind of been my motto, and that's what I did. Like, and I'm not saying like looking up videos for weeks, months, and then I'm going to implement. Like, no, I'm talking about taking a whole weekend, a couple hours on a Friday, a couple hours on a Saturday, a couple hours on a Sunday, doing as much research, looking at the top things, articles, videos, and just doing my diligence, okay? And just evaluating and knowing what I'm getting myself into before I jumped in. Well, I kind of just went like this, and then I jumped in. Didn't even do much research, trusted my partner. So I would have done maybe a lot more research because, again, I didn't know what I was getting into. When you're in and you're starting off, you don't know what you don't know. So I didn't even know what I was trying to look up. Again, don't let analysis paralysis, overthinking. And that's something that I wanted to overcome. I was like, I'm just going to trust God, which I did, and I still do, and I'm just going to go in. So I would have done probably more research getting started and understanding it. But don't allow other people that are creating videos, creating content, don't let their fear tactics or, the insufficiency of what they're saying and, the scare tactics, the fear mongering. There's wisdom in receiving the warnings, but also it's to say, well, I'm different, right? And I'm willing to figure it out. This is the entrepreneur mind. You can't go and try to do the same things over and over again that the same person did before. Yeah, I get it. There's systems, but if you're trying to develop and be the leading of something in an industry, especially if you're developing a company that nobody else has touched, of course you're going to be at the forefront. And that's kind of how I took it. Is there ignorance there? There could have been. Okay, God could check my heart. But I really look at it as like, man, I was just willing, and that's why I had to go through what I went through to understand and learn all this, and it was amazing. A blessing all around. So I would have done at least couple days of just research before I fully jumped in and started going out. Me, I say yes. I tell the world, I tell people I'm doing it, and then I figure it out. Is this going to happen? It works for me at this point in my life. Is it going to work for you? Everyone's different, okay? Evaluate your life, figure out your season. Last thing that I would have done different is investing into cash cars quicker, okay? Less finance, as I did, maybe half of what I financed. I financed a lot of vehicles, over 10. And I would have probably started going more cash route. Now, there's pros and cons between cash cars and finance cars. I did a video. You guys can check that out. So I would have probably doubled down on the right cash cars, looked for the right people, the right buyers. And there's so many places to do it. There's people that are doing it from OfferUp, local auctions, marketplace, Craigslist. I get it. There's scams, right, out there. So you got to be wise. But also going out there, and when you find a deal, you find a deal. And that's what makes it unique. So I would have probably doubled down more on finding cash cars right away instead of scaling financial vehicles too quick, too fast. Okay. Those are things I would have done differently. I hope you guys enjoy my little talk here. And if you guys are enjoying this stuff, you guys can go ahead, tap in, like the video. Let me know if you guys enjoy this. And go ahead, watch the video on the finance cars versus the cash cars. Check that out. See if this is for you. Evaluate it. I'll give you guys my free template too. It's a really cool template down below. Y'all have a blessed week. Take care. Bye-bye.